What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Serie A audio experience with IFTV. Another round in the books, another big Serie A weekend filled with goals, filled with upsets. Antonio, how are you right now?
You're looking at me for upsets.
You're looking jittery.
I'm not jittering.
I mean, there was an upset on your side.
Well, we lost the first game, and the second.
Second in a row.
It's something that I wasn't unexpected, but thank God I didn't get to watch the game because I was playing. Actually, I was reffing, and it's better because actually I'm going to start to change it. I'm going to listen to Ludovico. Every time that I'm on the studio watching AC Milan always comes up with a win or with a positive stuff. So from now on, if AC Milan is playing at 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm coming to the studio.
We're just not going to let you in.
No, don't worry
Even
about that.
have those 6:30 games.
I have a crowbar. I get myself in. I don't need you to.
That's vandalism,
so let me in.
We've heard that Ludovico doesn't want to come to watch games anymore because Napoli. He's nervous about Napoli losing over here.
Didn't he come to watch the game? The last game?
What game did he come here that Napoli lost?
That with Inter.
The Inter.
So,
He was here for the Inter game, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So then the Napoli, the game against
Lazio, then he didn't want to come. He canceled.
And
then they won.
Without Ozyman and Anguissa, they wound up winning 4-0.
They might have been even better.
And
I thought you told me that he was coming.
No. At first, I thought he was coming, but he couldn't make it. So
no, he didn't want to come because I spoke with him during the game, during the game of the complex over there at the Verrazzano. He said, "No, when Napoli lose, I have to change." It's and a question. Yeah, that's what he's starting to do. This, and that.
The superstitious hand gestures.
So he said, "I got to change, otherwise." Things that they don't work and they didn't be changed. So that's what I did.
I guess San Gennaro doesn't.
Yeah, the holy water didn't work. So I guess he's getting something else instead of holy water.
He soaked all of us with that. He was throwing the holy water all over the place.
Took a shower.
Enough. Yeah.
So that's why I'm a holy man today. And I'm not saying anything. I'm a holy.
Fair enough. Big round. We also have Serie A starting. If you're watching this today we got Serie A back. So we got to recap what happened in the last match day. Michael, where would you like to start?
Where would I like to start?
You never start.
Before we start, do we want to talk about... You guys are wondering, you guys have a red mark on your cheek. What's going on? All this. If you guys were on the watch-along streams, we explained it, but I think we're going to have to explain it again.
Serie A did a really good initiative, Un Rosso alla Violenza, which is to raise awareness against women abuse. Really nice. Every player we saw walked in with a red mark on their face. We also did a nice campaign on social media along with Serie A, where we had different people from all across online send us in pictures, send us in big moments. Everyone came together and supported it. So we wanted to jump in and help bring some more awareness to it as well.
And we want to say thank you for all the fans that send in the photos and stuff like that. A lot of Serie A reposted a lot of these stuff. So we are really proud to be a part of this annual initiative that they're doing. And till next year, till we do it again.
Yeah, very good. Good job by Serie A and good job by IFTV.
Thank you. All right, Michael didn't choose quick enough. So let's start with Juventus Atalanta. Atalanta won 1-0. A match that was back and forth at one point. I thought that it was going to be a little bit more intense, and I thought with the way that Atalanta attacked, I thought it was going to have a little bit more than just 1-0 matchup in this one. Juventus at home, I did not expect them to lose. You make a mistake, though. This guy, Zapata, is a killer. I mean, Morata loses that ball. It goes directly to him, and he's not going to think twice about it. The only other thing I have to say about Juventus is that you still feel they have no fear. There's no fear in the team. There's nobody that you see
that instills fear.
That is like, this guy scares you. Every team has such a top number 9, that will score a goal in any moment, and you don't feel that same thing at Juventus. The problem is very it's more deep than just a number 9.
Yeah.
But that was a big thing that I felt from the match. What'd you think?
So I was listening to Allegri talking about the game. He thought that Morata played the best game of the year. He said that Morata did
Atalanta?
Yes. He said that he did an absolutely great job, but technically, tactically, moving, coming back. He said he did everything, and but he always gets the short end of the stick, and it's getting criticized, but it's not fair because the performance from Juventus was very good against Atalanta, but Atalanta got the break and they scored the goal. But he was happy with the way that Juventus performed. Anyway, so they asked Allegri, how do you come out of this? I mean, he goes, well, we are in the middle of the storm, and this is a question that I will also ask you. We are in the middle, we're on a boat and we are in the middle of the storm.
In the eye of the storm.
And how do you come out of the storm? Do you fight back or do you find a way to get out? The sailor will always find a way to come out of the storm. Do you agree with that analysis?
I do. Juventus for me did not deserve to lose.
No. Let's start with the sailor.
Okay.
Start on the sailor.
Coming from my professional.
That's why I asked you. Your
professional
father was a sailor, and
I was a sailor too.
Okay.
A fisherman, actually. A sailor is someone that
okay, a fisherman.
So I got caught several times in very nasty storms. And what you learn while you are into the eye of the storm is to be very, very cool. If you panic, you're done. In other words, you lose, you can die. All right? So you have to just be very cool and don't rush in decision making. Just fight it the proper way, because once you are into the ocean, there is no way that you can escape. So Allegri, I think I liked the analogy that he made it. Right now, it's fighting and it's just letting the storm go by and pass by. Because those storms are temporary. After the big storms, it comes the sun.
So that's exactly what he said. You have to, right now, you have to be really serene. You have to, your mind, you have to be tranquillo, and you have to come out of this all together. Just keep quiet, keep working. It looks like Chiesa is going to be out until 2022. Yes, McKennie is not in that bad of a shape, but the next game he's scared against Salernitana, because Salernitana plays with the heart. They play well against Cagliari. He's just playing. This one is just all mind games. But he's going to bring some some people that are young and that are fresh and they can score, together with the experience of Chiellini, who is the captain of the ship.
In the words of the great Katy Perry, after a hurricane comes a rainbow. So, Mike, is a rainbow coming for Juventus?
You guys are cracking me up with these analogies. I just want someone listening to this and just be like, oh, I'm never going to use that information. Then Antonio, if someone ever gets trapped in a storm and they start panicking, they're going to start remembering from the audio podcast. Anto said, don't panic.
Don't panic.
Never.
No.
Survive the storm.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Allegri said don't panic.
Not Antonio.
But reaffirmed it. Anto reaffirmed who is a fisherman.
From the fisherman.
His words are heavier than Allegri's, I think.
Hold on, but it came out from Allegri.
Yeah. But having Anto reaffirm that, since he's been in the sea
what were your thoughts about
his whole life, makes it better. My thoughts for the game, well, I know me and Antonio predicted Atalanta win. You guys, I know you said you don't think your father's favorite saying where he's like, I can't see Juve losing at home.
What was your thoughts of the game?
I predict 1-1. I predict a tie, and in the last minute it was inches away from 1-1.
What were your thoughts about the game?
I think Atalanta overall played a better game. I think they deserve it. Juve at the end, they were trying to scramble to get that goal, but I just feel like it wasn't enough. You guys, I know you guys both said that you feel a draw would have been justifiable, but I think Atalanta overall, in terms of their urgency, their pressing, pretty much a whole game, I really think they deserve the 3 points at the Allianz Stadium. So I thought it was well deserved, and Atalanta's proven me and a lot of people still wrong of how well they keep bulldozing through these top opponents too. Zapata, this guy scores so much against Juventus. He doesn't shy out through the big moments where we see a lot of players do. So I definitely tip my hat to Atalanta, and I'm back on the Atalanta hype train.
Well, yeah, I think that Atalanta played a really good match. Same intensity that you always see from that team, and it's not easy to go to Torino and to win, no matter what, no matter even if you'll say that Juventus deserves a tie.
Yeah.
It definitely helps when Zapata's got Morata assisting him, losing the ball and giving you a clear chance. I thought McKennie was the best player from Juventus, and then when he went off, he was playing way too much to the right on the right side. When he went off, Juventus really didn't have anything. But there's a problem with the team. We've known this for a little while. Allegri, needs to take Juventus out of this way that they're in right now. But against Atalanta, this is the direct competitor for Champions League. These are two of the strongest teams that are going to be fighting for that fourth spot, because the three at the top are going to be there. Inter, Milan, and Napoli are going to be the first three. And then there's going to be that fourth team. And Juventus and Atalanta are both really strong for it. And the way that Atalanta is looking right now, incredible.
I will not be surprised if Atalanta wins the Campionato. On the long run, believe me, we're not that far. We're not that far ahead into the schedule. So you just blame a little bit Morata. I will say even Bonucci's position was a little bit questionable on the goal of Zapata. So it was too far away from him. And normally Bonucci is the one that gets glued to the defender. But given the fact that it was a lost ball in the midfield, still Bonucci is supposed to be taking some of the responsibility for the goal. But nevertheless, to me, I slightly disagree with you. The best player of Juventus was Dybala. I saw him coming down and taking 3 balls away on the three-quarter of Juventus, coming all the way from the top of the box of Atalanta. And he just really, I don't know, maybe he's been asked to show his heart when he plays and all the stuff, and get involved a little bit more on the defensive role, trying to get the ball back. But again, Dybala, I think, is trying to overdo, but the team is not all together over there, and it's something is missing. So
I have a question for you. Before I say the question, we do have to thank our premium sponsors of the podcast and of IFTV this year, Paramount Plus. If you're watching this today, you can be watching Serie A. If you're in the United States, Paramount Plus is the place for you. Link is at the top of the description to get a 7-day free trial. If I allowed you to choose one player, and don't forget about age, just technique, skill-wise, that you could put into your team, Vlahovic or Zapata, who would you put into your team?
I would probably, right now, I will go with Vlahovic.
How come?
Well, the kid is playing with so much weight on his shoulder. Zapata is not, and he still is coming through, and he's the leading scorer of the Campionato. I mean, he's the leader of. He's on top of the scorer. So I think this kid has got, not only he's got skills, he's got talent, he's got character.
We'll transition that into Fiorentina's talk for a second too. They lost to Empoli. I couldn't believe this. They were up 1-0. Vlahovic scored the goal. Like you said, 11th goal in the season. His 3 in 2 games too. Capocannoniere at the moment. 87th minute, Empoli scored their first goal, and then 89th minute, they scored their second. Pinamonti scored the game winner. Again, that same trend with Fiorentina towards the end of the matches, that they concede a lot of goals. They're still, Empoli's a really good side. We had spoken. I was very big on Andrea Zoli, and he's proven to be really strong with Empoli. On Fiorentina, these kind of games, you don't want them to happen. They're coming off of such a major win against AC Milan. So they just need to focus on their concentration, I think, towards the second half, because everything else is really good. Everything else that they do is fantastic, and there's building blocks. Maybe some transfers in January could help Italiano. Maybe it's about managing the game towards the end, or maybe he needs to tighten things up and not go for it at a certain moment of the match. But that's a style, and that it just shows you how unpredictable the Serie A is. Anything on Empoli Fiorentina?
I like it a lot. I like it a lot. That the Fiorentina, not because they slapped AC Milan at 4-3 the first week, but as I said before, in Serie A you don't take anything for granted. You can just beat AC Milan the week before and lose against the bottom of the table. Nothing is a given. So you have to fight every single one. And Allegri been saying that he's afraid that Salernitana he has his own. He's right by saying that, even though we think he's downplaying already on his mind. He's trying to play mind game, up to a point. Because Salernitana, at any point, at any time, those are the teams that you wanted to just beat. I said, if we go to Serie B, at least we leave. We left the Serie A by having beat Juventus, a couple other big teams. So those are things that they play into the head of those players.
You know what? You know what that makes me think of? Makes me think of Sassuolo.
Yeah, look what happened to AC Milan yesterday.
Sassuolo is a team that I was checking their last form. They tied to Cagliari. They tied to Udinese in their last 2 games, right? And you would think that they're going to play against AC Milan, one of the best teams. There's no way. But if you see them, they love to play up. They love to, against the top teams, they love to show up. What happened to Milan?
I didn't see the game. I watched some of the highlights, but very disappointed.
I saw the game. That was first of all, that was great football by Dionisi. Just like you were saying, they do play up to their opponent. They managed not to get the full points against the lower teams. But first of all, Milan made a lot of mistakes. Bakayoko Kessie was at fault for 2 of the goals. Then Berardi just outclassed Romagnoli. He made him fall on his face.
A pillow, Anto.
Incredible. He gave him sleeping pills, Anto, after that play.
But, I've never seen a body fall like the way that Romagnoli.
It was scary.
fell.
I'm not gonna lie. The way he fell, it was very strange.
It reminded me of Boateng versus Messi.
It was face first.
Remember Boateng versus Messi when Messi cuts in one way and Boateng just
Ice
falls over?
skates.
The way Romagnoli started the game so well too. He scored the goal, then he ended up getting sent off after he got embarrassed by Berardi.
No, that was the Frel at the time where he got the sent off. But the way Sassuolo breaks, they play such great liquid football. Look like I don't mean to disappoint, but look like Barcelona in terms of tiki taka, making space, sends it around, and their counterattacks, they were so dangerous.
Their wings, you mean?
No, just in general, sending it through even their fullbacks left and right. They're so good with their feet. Like, I know Gaetano, you always say don't pass it back to your goalkeeper, but they kept passing the defenders. They played such synchronized. It was so enjoyable just to watch that kind of football, especially from a mid-table team from them. But then again, Milan did make mistakes and stuff like that. So if they didn't make those mistakes, it would have been a much closer match overall.
Antonio was right, because last week you said that Tomori is your most important player more than Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I think we saw that.
Yeah. You see, defensively, I was never high on Romagnoli since the first day that we got him. 25 million euros. I was hoping that this guy here will come on his own with the time a little bit, with some experience. The fact you're playing in San Siro, all the years of the.
He's gotten worse.
He hasn't gotten any better. I don't think he's gotten worse, but he hasn't gotten any better.
No, he started very well.
To me, Maldini's trying to resign him. I think they're working on his new contract. But for me, I would have just looked for somebody else. And I don't think he's even a backup. I think Romagnoli cannot really qualify as a backup defender for his backup. Juventus is looking for a defender.
Look, he's looking out for you. Such a good guy.
Enough problems. I don't think they want to add one more.
What I would like to add is that there is a change in culture in Serie A. I feel that these teams, like Atalanta we know, but if you go to the Alliance Stadium, you go against Juventus and you're not afraid, that shows something. Sassuolo is the same way. I mean, you go to a big team and you go there and you're not afraid and you're playing away, and that shows something. I mean, Empoli Fiorentina was a game going back and forth, and Empoli in the second half, they were not afraid. They just kept coming, and there were some nice triangles that they played, both teams. So I think that's the big change. Verona's done it a couple of times.
Venezia
did it, so it's
very
nice,
interesting.
It's nice to see. It's refreshing to see.
How good is Berardi?
I wish we had an AC Milan.
I mean, you should just buy him just because he scored 10 goals in 15 games.
No, not only that. It's just, to me, I'm very high on Berardi. I've always been very high on Berardi. Very high. He's got so much talent, the guy.
You want him on AC Milan?
Yeah. Maldini, if you're looking at this, I'm serious. Get Berardi. Domenico is the man.
I don't know. I think he plays well where he is right now. Sometimes in the national team, he not necessarily performs. I need to see more consistency at a higher level.
His skills are really good, though. I'll agree. Like, sometimes his one-on-ones, he's really strong on them, and he brings a great dynamic to the team. The other guy that we got to talk about too is Scamacca, who scored a fantastic goal against the first one was a brilliant strike. Think he's one that you could actually believe in for the national team?
Of course. I would have given him the start on one of the games. I mean, he's big, he's got physical strength, and that goal that he scored, what a skills! I mean, the goalie didn't even move.
Yeah, that was perfectly placed.
Oh my God! I mean, the goalie, nothing. He did not even have time. It was unbelievable.
You will, Gaetano, you will think with Mike. Go ahead.
And this is where we need help. Of course, I would start him.
I was under the impression I said we get Mike Magnan back, so I said, hey, I think I feel a little safer on the back.
He's
over
a little
there.
bit rusty. You know,
It's
you
not
got to
his
give
fault.
him time.
It's not his fault. The goals.
Well,
It was a little bit our fault.
one of the goal was the fault.
Was one the distribution?
On the Berardi's goal, I think it was a little bit a fault. He could have just.
I think one went under his leg.
Yeah.
The
Went
Berardi
between.
one
Well, the
went
Berardi
between
was
his legs.
Yeah, but it was a one-on-one though. You
But
can't
you
really
can
blame.
tell that Magnan was not ready to be back.
Right.
It is his first game back, but you can't blame. You blame that on Romagnoli, who should have defended.
Yeah, but
him
not just in
clearly.
general, the whole game.
I get whatever. First game
No,
back.
what I'm saying again is this is a situation that all the big teams, they are already starting to have this new approach built in within their DNA. They said there is no small team over here anymore in Serie A. We have to play like every game like it's our last game or it's like the championship game, and that's what I want the Italian national team to do. Because now with Scamacca, now you keep saying to me that you always have been big on Giuseppe Rossi. I said Giuseppe Rossi just starting to score in Serie B. Let's say Giuseppe Rossi keeps scoring. I want Mancini to keep his eyes open because this guy here he's been proven.
Who to give the Ballon d'Or to? He said Giuseppe Rossi.
So tell me, why he's not caliber, the Ballon d'Or caliber in the past?
In the past.
Yeah, but he can still.
Step by step, right, Anto?
Yeah.
Giuseppe, I voted for you for the Ballon d'Or.
Where'd you vote? Online?
Don't worry about it.
You went to a coffee shop and they asked.
None of your
What's
business, Mike. None of your business.
They
I
took
wanna
the
vote
paper.
for him too, Anto.
Yeah.
That's
They
what I'm
took the
asking
paper
you.
and they probably threw it out. There was anyway.
Marco, but the Ballon d'Or, since we brought it up, so what do you think about Gaetano? Messi again? Everybody's saying Lewandowski deserved
No
it.
way, Messi. I mean, with PSG, he has done nothing. He changed from one league to another league, and you could see that he's struggling. He's struggling physically, tactically, technically. He's just, he doesn't deserve it.
But the people will say that he won Copa America and he scored a lot of goals in La Liga last year.
I don't know. Doesn't I think there are other players that deserve it.
I agree. I think that this was clearly Lewandowski's year. He got robbed on the last year that 2020 they were just supposed to do the Ballon d'Or, then they canceled the trophy.
Yeah.
And this year, I mean, just look at the numbers that he scored, even in the Champions League. I mean, in the Champions League, he scored such big numbers.
But this is every year.
Yeah.
With Lewandowski, it's every year.
And I guess in the past you could have said that, all right, he was going up against an unbelievable Ronaldo, an unbelievable Messi, so he couldn't have won it. But I think that now it's pretty much evened out, that it's not like Messi and Ronaldo are doing incredible things that Lewandowski can't win it. So I think it would have been right, considering the numbers, considering the stats that he did. And I know some people will say, oh, he did it in Bundesliga. You also got Messi now in Liga. And the one thing is the Copa America. But okay, he won the Copa America, which is a tournament that many people thought that he would have won years ago. I just don't think he was at the caliber to have won the Ballon d'Or. I think it should have went to Lewandowski, but I'm not surprised in the slightest. We knew he was not.
Let me just say this. This is so important. Okay, if you are a professional, right, and you are Messi, right, and you got Lewandowski right next to you,
Not bad.
you know that you don't deserve it because of what this guy has, the number that this guy, not you, because you're not.
I know what's coming.
So if you are Messi and you know that somebody deserves not just as good as you deserve it, but he deserves a lot more because of the numbers, what he has showcases and all the stuff. Why don't you do that? You take the Ballon d'Or and say, hey, by the way, you know what? They gave it to me, but you know what? You deserve it more than me.
I brought that up before the
There you
podcast. Yeah.
No, you did it not to
No,
me.
not to you. In a group
so
chat.
Messi said that last week. That last year he did deserve it, just to give him a little bit of credit. But yeah, I mean, that's never going to happen. He wants to say that I won 7. The sponsors, he's the only person to ever win 7. Of course, he's not going to give it to Lewandowski.
But Lewandowski also has more goals in less games than him. I understand Messi won the goal. I don't want to make this a big argument, but for the most part, the stats speak for themselves. I think, personally.
Jorginho finished in third. It's
Yeah.
the first time we had an Italian that finished in the podium, the top three since Cannavaro in 2006. So very happy for Jorginho, despite the many things that are said about the guy. I mean, if you were to read some of the comments from some people about Jorginho, the guy misses 3 penalties, and he went from being the hero that every Italian wanted to fight and be proud of. Oh, look, he could be in the Ballon d'Or race, or even if you didn't, he's a hero in the team that won the Euros in an incredible fashion, to a complete villain that people will say really bad stuff
It's a
about.
shame.
I can't stand that. Just a couple missed penalties. Am I mad about the penalties? Yeah, I'm pissed about the penalties. I do not take that out on Jorginho. And maybe if he would have scored. Okay, so here's a question: if he scored versus England in the final and he scored versus Switzerland to get us to the World Cup, do you think he would have had more of a chance to win the Ballon d'Or?
I would say yes.
No, it would have been number 2.
Yeah.
No, I would say yes. No, Michael, I would say yes. I would say yes. Yeah.
More of a chance for sure, but I still don't think he was going to win it.
I would have argued it online a little bit more. Now
Yeah.
I could have even argued
It's
it.
harder. It's
I would
harder
say yes.
for sure.
Unfortunately, it didn't go his way, but it is what it is. So
We're still happy.
third is still it's a good
Donnarumma
showing.
won best goalkeeper, which is rightfully so. Some people were mad that Mendy from Chelsea didn't win it, but for me, Donnarumma was
Mendy?
best.
Are you kidding me?
The best keeper. He won
With the Champions League.
League.
Chelsea.
Yeah, what are you gonna do with that? But
But Donnarumma in the Euros was unbelievable. He also, don't even forget, not just the Euros, what he did with AC Milan to get them back into Champions League and in a competitive spot was unbelievable. Donnarumma deserved best keeper, and he was in the top 10 as well.
So just to close on Jorginho, he did score on a penalty on Sunday.
I know.
That's
saw
true with
against
Chelsea.
Man United.
And another thing, Anto, your boy Kier got 18th place, which is a great feat for him for sure.
yeah, absolutely.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Oh.
But, I mean, they were. I know some people. Dani Alves said that Eriksson should have won it, and there was some people that were saying Kier. I know in Italy, one of the Paolo Condo. Paolo Condo. He's from Sky. He voted Jorginho as number 1, and he voted Kier as number 5. Which, I mean, they choose one representative from each country. I mean, you got to be unbiased in a sense. I know that we would love Jorginho.
I'm
to
unbiased.
Anto would pick
I'll take
Cassano
Giuseppe-
even though he's not playing still.
Cassano,
No, this time was with Giuseppe Rossi number 1 because he's still playing. Donnarumma second, Cassano third.
Where's Shevchenko? Bring Shevchenko. It's like only current
Anyway,
players, Anto.
I think we've known for many years what the Ballon d'Or is, but this year was the final curtain that you really understand that it's a popularity contest,
that's true.
and that's fine. Like if it wants to be a popularity contest, Jorginho, he got the trophies that matter. He got the Champions League and he got the Euros. That made a nation proud. The Ballon d'Or, what does the Ballon d'Or do? The Ballon d'Or makes a person proud and his family. It's not the same as your country.
It doesn't
winning
weigh.
a
It doesn't
trophy.
weigh a lot to me anymore, to be honest. The Ballon d'Or, just because I feel like it's a popularity. It's not based on merit.
For
it's
you,
not
Mike,
based on merit.
well, you're never gonna wear it because you're never gonna win a Ballon d'Or. I mean, what's the point?
Well, I'm not a player.
So what are you saying that?
But I'm saying, Anto, you should be rewarded for your hard work on meritocracy, not because he's a more popular player. Wouldn't you agree?
Let's talk about what was the big game that I want to talk about? Napoli Lazio. 4-0 win for Napoli without Osimhen, without Anguissa, without a lot of their key players. I really like that Spalletti played Mertens instead of Petagna up top. Because I was checking the stats, and every time that every time Osimhen came off, he put in Petagna. And I know Mertens was injured, but even when Mertens was there, he was constantly subbed in for a Zielinski or a different type of player. So really good credit to Spalletti for that, because Mertens scored 2 fantastic goals, one better than the other, quite literally.
And they actually missed another one almost big.
And Napoli did not skip a beat. I think 30 minutes in, they already had total control of the match. And Lazio were just completely lost. Sarri against his former team, Napoli. I think sometimes when he was watching that ball being passed around one touch, he was probably
that was me.
sitting in a lot of regret.
Gaetano, he didn't look good because he was unshaved, and his notebook was said, "Oh my God, God only knows what Gaetano is thinking about it." What is he
Probably needed
writing
like
down?
3 notebooks to write down.
Oh my God, what did he
Did
write
the
down?
notebook get wet? No, I didn't see the whole game. I saw the highlights. I saw the goals that Mertens scored. I was really surprised. I mean, where was it? 20 minutes, 25 minutes? It was already 3-0.
Oh my God.
So I missed the first 20, 25 minutes. The game was already 3-0. And I was really surprised because Lazio, I mean, you think that they're going to show up. And with that team, Immobile was back, the midfielder is there, Sarri against Napoli.
His old team.
His old team. I mean, you're going to give him a game, a run for you. And then you think in Napoli, Osimhen is missing.
Anguissa, Politano.
Right. They had a couple of players missing. And I was really impressed. I was really impressed by Napoli, even though they have a tough schedule coming up in the next month. So, very
Who doesn't, Gaetano? Everybody has it.
No.
Every big test.
Juve has an
Juventus
easy
is
schedule
but,
coming up.
But I know
Easier.
if you mean that in Serie A, even the easy games, they
Absolutely.
can turn really
Right.
tough. I got to say, Zielinski is one of my favorite midfielders in Serie A. He has been for some time. I've really liked him. I know in the beginning of the season, some people were saying he didn't look the same, maybe because he wasn't scoring goals. But honestly, now that he's getting fired up, he's getting heated up, he can do everything. He could play one touch. He's great on the ball. He's calm under pressure. He's that added factor going forward because he can service his attackers in a great way. And then he could score goals. He really is one of those perfect midfielders, 360 degrees, smart, intelligent, and works hard. And I really like Zielinski, and I'm happy that he's scoring, and I'm happy that he's doing well.
Yeah, I mean, Napoli, just watching that game, it looked like a video game. They played like a near-perfect game. They didn't let poor Lazio do anything. They had one chance from the corner, hit the crossbar. But other than that, I'm so disappointed in Sarri and Lazio.
What do you think is wrong?
I don't know. I don't know if they bought in Sarri's philosophy of keep passing the ball a million times in training, or if they're sick of that, or that's not the team that they're going to do it. Because we know that midfield is a little bit older. And you know how they say you can't really teach an old dog new tricks and stuff. I'm not sure if it's sticking. I just really don't know what the problem is. But that was the disgraceful performance by Lazio. I expected a very good match. And like Gaetano said, he missed the first 20 minutes. The game was over. They knocked the wind out of them, and that was it. And that's totally unacceptable from Sarri because they didn't show any hunger at all. And I don't know what the future is going to be with Sarri and Lazio, but it's not looking
You talking
bright.
about sacking?
No, but I'm just saying the way it's going.
I will sack him.
The way I feel like every time I talk about Lazio, it's always negative because they're not
kidding me?
showing up to the expectations.
It's weird because they usually have shown up in the big games. That was the one thing about them is that against a tough opponent, they were there. I think that Sarri's game is a very high press. We know they like to attack. But when you have that sort of defense in the back that can't clean up the mistakes, because individually, who do they have that's really good in defense? There's nobody that I don't like the defense. I never liked the defense.
Luis Felipe is a
and when
good
you
player.
don't have that, you can't really play that sort of style.
But even
and
attacking,
it's going to
they
take
couldn't do.
time. Of course, again, it's kind of, I relate to Juventus, Chelsea, that lost 4-0. You could lose to Chelsea. Lazio, you could lose to Napoli, but to lose 4-0
in that fashion,
without doing anything, that's the real thing. If you lose a battle against Napoli, they're the best team, one of the best teams, first place in Serie A.
But
Okay, but the way that they went out, and this Cataldi, I don't like Cataldi. He loses the ball constantly. He was at mistake for one of the goals as well. I understand that Sarri says that he likes to play Cataldi because defensively he helps balance out Luis Alberto and Milinkovic-Savic. I don't agree.
Listen, let me just say something. What I found what really bothered me is to see the movement of the bench. So at the beginning of the second half, this guy's pulling all the big guns out, Sarri. He's taking out Milinkovic, he's taking out Luis Alberto. He's taking out all the best players. I said, what are you doing that you're really conceding? Give it a shot. Maybe you score one goal and then a second goal, and maybe things are starting to be back on track. But at the beginning of the second half, I don't know if he did it as a punishment or he didn't see any efforts coming out from those guys. He takes them out. You know what you do by doing that? You're sending the signal to the opponents. I said, hey, listen, we took the rose and we put it into the boat. The boat is going with the wind. That's it. We in Italy, we said, like I said on the live show, tirare I remi in barca means pulling the rose out of the water, put it into the water, and let the boat goes drift.
Lots of water analogies today.
So not a great. It was not good, and it was not good for the spectator that they paid that kind of money to go at the stadium watching Savic, watching all of those big Lazio players, and took the trip from Rome to Napoli to witness that stuff.
Speaking of money,
Yeah.
Venezia Inter 1-0. Inter won. Didn't overextend themselves. They did their job. They knew that they were coming off of the European break. They were playing Venezia in Venice, who again, credit to Venezia because they were coming off of 2 wins in a row. They beat Roma. They beat Bologna, I believe. Was the second game, which hadn't happened. They have some players that can make you challenge. Paolo Zanetti's an exciting young coach who says he loves to attack, even though we didn't see it, not even for a second in the match. But Inter, that's a Champions of Italy performance right there. Don't overdo yourself. They did just enough
to get those
to
3 points.
get the job. It's 2-0, by the way. Did I say
2-0.
1-0?
They got a penalty towards the end.
Yeah, I forgot.
A VAR check.
So they didn't overextend themselves too much. There was really nothing from Venezia besides the one shot that was almost a brilliant shot. But besides that, nothing from Venezia, and smart from Inter. And the only other thing I would say is that this guy Brozovic, just watch Brozovic. Kids out there, if you're going to play center midfield, watch Brozovic. The little things that Brozovic does to open up and connect the entire team. It's the stuff that goes unnoticed, but it's the stuff that once you see it, you can't unsee it. And when he's not there, you really realize Brozovic has been fantastic. Any takeaway from this game?
I mean, business as usual. Inter, as a matter of fact, when it comes to those games, they know exactly what they want to do. They have the players. They don't, even if they change and they put Correa, they take out Lautaro, they put Dzeko. I mean, they have now a tactic scheme where every Sunday they go there. Everybody knows their responsibility. I've seen good thing. I have criticized Perisic for years back because I thought that with Inter he didn't perform. Then with Bayern he performed. Then he came back. I think now, I mean, he takes his man all the day. He takes him on and he makes nice crosses. And things happen from the left side, they happen from the right side, they happen from the middle with Brozovic, who is the maestro over there, and somebody cuts in, and Hakan takes a shot, a goal. I mean, things are happening from everywhere, and the defense is solid. So everybody's doing their job, and they're getting the...
Yeah, Darmian, you go ahead.
Do you regret Hakan leaving?
I didn't regret Hakan leaving. He left on his own because we were in the process of resigning him. And believe it or not, I don't regret him leaving because we have Brahim Diaz that is just as good or much better than Hakan.
Okay, that's fair.
But when you're seeing Hakan score those goals, do you sometimes think that maybe...
No, not really. It's part of the game. You're scoring against Venezia. Come on.
He wipes away the tears quickly.
I mean, he scored against Milan too.
It's all right. Then what happened then? They didn't win the game.
But regardless, I do agree with Gaetano. They won the defending champs. They know what they have to do. They know that Inzaghi hasn't, won the Scudetto, but Inzaghi knows these players have that DNA that they tasted that victory. So Handanovic is a leader. They got their defense. They've been there all together, and I just feel like this is Inter's Scudetto to lose at the end of the day. Right now, they're a point away from Milan, and I believe only 4 points away from Napoli. There's still a lot of time. They're gonna really fight it till the end, and they're just comfortable. They've overcame it before, and I think they know that they could do it again.
What's the schedule for Inter, by the way?
What do you think about Roma's win over Torino? We'll do the schedule at the end.
Yeah.
Roma's win against Torino, that's a good one. But before we do go to that, we know that CBS made a great promo clip, this time covering Juventus. So I want you guys to check this out. It is a minute long. I've been seeing a lot of feedback. You guys have been loving the cinematic videos they've been doing. We're going to insert it now. Let us know what you guys think.
Black and white. The beauty of Turin lies in its contrasts. World famous yet undiscovered. Once a kingdom of its own, been the first Italian capital. It's the home of palaces and powerhouses, shrouded in clouds and closer to snowy mountains than the Mediterranean. It's often overlooked, but the calcio could never be. Defined by high standards and high class. In Turin, you don't speak about what you have, you just know you have it. It's in the cathedrals, the characters, the streets, the stadium. So grand and picturesque that it founded Italian cinema. The dramatic is everywhere. The contrast is everywhere. For the Old Lady, a club founded by youth in this ancient city. Success is black and white, and she will mesmerize us until the end.
They're so awesome. I know some people were asking too where the next one's coming. I think, can I say who the next team is? I can't.
I don't know, to be honest.
Right,
don't say it, just in case.
Guys, everybody's team is coming.
Yeah. It's great. It's great to see.
As it is.
But link in the description, guys. 7-day free trial to get your Paramount subscription. I know Anto loves saying that.
Listen, again, now I got another line for Paramount. I thought that the phone
I don't know
now.
if the world is ready
No,
for
listen
this.
to this. Before, I thought that you have to go to Starbucks and pay this extra money. Right now, even if you go to 7-Eleven, you end up spending more than $5 if you get a latte or something like that. Yeah. So, hey, guys, he really pays to just subscribe and get Paramount Plus. Just do it.
Inflation, everything is going up except Paramount Plus.
Oh my God!
It's a win-win.
And if you get the 1 year subscription,
Dunkin' Donuts is expensive.
This is gonna become a rant about how everything has become very expensive. We were talking about this the other day.
Yeah, we were.
Mike, what do you think about Roma's win over Torino, 1-0?
This is good. First of all, for Tammy Abraham, I was a little skeptical whether if Torino and Juric were gonna do something, but for the most part, Roma played pretty good. I'm happy for Mourinho and Tammy Abraham. I believe he has 3 goals in 2 games right now, so he is finding his form. A lot of people in the beginning were saying he started with a slow start, but first of all, it's his first season. But I think Tammy. I think next season, if he stays with Mourinho and this project builds, I can see him doing some wonders over there. Because even with Lukaku, the first season he did good, but the second season he really exploded with Inter and Conte. So if he really gets experience under his belt, he's that kind of striker that has the vision. He can send those assists. He's physical, and I think he's a leader, and he's very young. So I see a lot of positives for him, especially if you're a Roma fan.
I like Zaniolo. Him and Mourinho, the relationship that they have is extremely strong. They're both liking each other a lot. And Mourinho's very protective over Zaniolo. And I'm really just liking the way that he's coming back into form. Returning from injury, he needs to be that guy. And sometimes it's really beautiful to watch. If you watch Zaniolo just run with the ball at his feet, he looks like a horse. I mean, he gallops his way forward, and it looks like it's a train that nobody can stop. So we hope that for everybody that Zaniolo can continue that. Unfortunately, one of the bad things, Pellegrini got hurt. He's going to be out for 30 to 40 days.
Again.
So he's injured as well. But either way.
That's. I hope that some of those big names that we can get them healthy for our qualification at the World Cup, because that's what my main concern is right now. I mean, 2 weeks here, 3 weeks, a month. I can just really suffer through, and but I want those guys to be ready to play when Mancini is going to call them up.
Once March 1st comes, I hope all the Italian players just take it a little bit easy.
Take it easy, right?
In the Campionato, let's all understand.
In between, Marco, we don't have any friendly games with the Italian national team.
I'm not sure.
As of now, it hasn't been announced, but there's still plenty of time, so I'm sure they will schedule a few.
They should probably.
They usually do.
What else we got to talk about? I think that's pretty much it. One thing that we do got to mention, there's obviously the elephant in the room is the controversy that's going around with the Plus Violenza in Italy. There's over 60 cases that's being investigated right now, 42 of which are from Juventus, and then there's other ones that they're Napoli with Osimhen and Roma. We're gonna try to get an expert on who understands Plus Violenza, which is like capital gains. Is, I believe, the right translation of it. We're going to try to get an expert on to really talk about it. Obviously, it's a weird thing to discuss because we are not experts in that field. We know the ball. We know how the ball moves. But when you start talking about this, can somebody, how do you classify what's scientific to determine a player's price? I don't know. I don't even know what that really means.
It's a good idea to get somebody that knows it well. From what I understand is you buy somebody for $10 million and then you sell them for $50 million. So you made $40 million. But it's divided then because there is a depreciation of the player as you go along. But let's say you gain $40 million, and I think now you could spend that $40 million. So if somebody you bought for $10 million and he's worth $20 million, but you say he's worth $40 million, that's an advantage that the club has because then they can spend more money. That's what
But-
I
yeah,
understood. But like I said, I'm not an expert. Maybe it's a good idea
Yeah, well,
to
I'm trying
get
to get an
somebody.
expert on that we could interview and
Somebody-
get a better understanding of, because there's big terms being thrown around. Like
Right.
there's so many headlines.
But the
Nobody knows
that's
exactly
the
what,
outline. That's more or less what it's.
But the
about.
value of the player, from what I understand, is only subjected to the market, to the ongoing market, or to the
make
teams.
a deal with you make a deal with Barcelona,
Mm-hmm.
and you say, hey, this player, you know what? Let's make him worth 40 million. And you give me another player, we make him worth 40 million, and we both.
But what he was
Even
saying is it's
exchange.
subjective. It's if the value of
Who
something is
determines
determined
what's
by,
the value
by
of
who
the
buys,
player? Yeah,
you know?
right.
Like for me, maybe a $15 coffee, I would never buy a $15 coffee, but to Antonio, it's worth $15.
No, wait.
Oh boy.
Let's,
We opened a
let's
can of
say,
worms.
let's say, let's make an example. Okay, let's say Pjanic. Pjanic is worth $30 million. But Barcelona says, I'll give you 40 or I'll give you 50. But for Arthur, you give me also 50. Now, there's nobody else who's going to pay 50 million for Pjanic. But both of them are.
But can there be a case there?
And then you say,
It's only
I made
subjective, Marco. To me, I see
I
only
made
subjectivities.
I made $40 million. You make $40 million. Now you can spend more money. That's the way I understood.
It's hard to prove, though, Gaetano.
But
It's
I don't
very
think
hard to prove.
anyone would have paid. Let's just give, for example, Barcelona bought Coutinho for $100 million. I don't think if you asked any other club in the world, they would have spent $100 million for Coutinho or Dembele.
Or Maguire for 90
Or
million.
Maguire
That guy, if you will
Maguire
give it
for
to me
90
for free, I will never say, just keep it.
But,
You know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, I think
To Man United, he was worth 90. But if
Milan went
Milan wanted him, Milan would be like 30 million.
Not even. Not even.
Gaetano's like, I'm
kidding
done.
me?
Gaetano's like,
That
I'm done
guy.
explaining this. That's it.
We need
That's
an
it.
expert.
We need an expert.
We need an
done.
expert. We're not. None of us at this table are intelligent enough to.
Hey,
Speak for yourself,
easy,
right,
Speak
Aldo?
for
Speak for
yourself.
yourself.
Right, Mike.
For
Would
you,
you
I'm
like to
saying
explain
that.
this? We know the ball. We know the tactics and stuff. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
That's honestly it's what we're probably best speaking about. But we try to keep you updated. We'll try to get an expert to talk about that. I think that's it, guys. Hope you enjoy Serie A real soon. Make sure you like the video, subscribe. We're also available on audio. I know some people sometimes send us messages. Oh, can I just play the audio in the car? Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, everywhere. Honestly, the
Stitcher?
audio. Stitcher, yeah,
It's a platform.
Yeah, sometimes people listen to it. I don't, wherever you want.
So
wherever
when you guys
want.
are on
I
the
don't
bus,
judge.
So-
instead of watching the video, you can listen to it there.
so. There are games, right, coming up.
Yeah.
Schedule.
So
right?
today, for the people that are listening, which is tomorrow, Tuesday, Fiorentina, Sampdoria, Atalanta, Venezia, Salernitana, Juventus, Verona, Cagliari, and on Wednesday we have Inter, Spezia, Bologna, Roma, nice game, Sassuolo, Napoli, Genoa, Milan,
Shevchenko.
and
Oh my
Torino, Empoli. The last game on Thursday will be Lazio, Udinese.
There we go. Some good matches. Let's see what's at stake. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Ciao,
Okay.
guys.
Ciao guys, Forza Serie A. And Forza Casano.